I think, wow. If there aren't kids around, I made things a little spicier, and I like that.
Oh my. The crunchiness is next level.
Ooh, too far. Same side, yeah. Spread it out. The garlic. Peppers acceptably. Spring onions, several garnish. Good Roger would say. Ready. Perfect. Just right now, or
That's it.
that's it?
Not to toot my own horn,
Yeah.
but I think this would be Uncle Roger approved.
Oh yeah.
If it's not spicy enough,
Yeah.
maybe he'll look at this and think it's a little too burn, but it's the sacrifice you make for the crisp. Let's actually talk about your daughter, Erin. You know, when she's doing prep blogs in the basement alongside where we work, she's often like, Appa, when she gets stuck.
Yeah.
Because I think she knows it's there.
Yeah.
But you often push back and say, hey, like, watch the review, you know, ask formally. I have the opinion that that's actually a good habit to want to seek independent review versus immediately independent, like, sort of correction
Yeah.
before seeking, obviously, like, if help is there, but it shouldn't be your go-to. So do you think, like, our app actually encourages that too? Or we shouldn't try to encourage that? Or, I don't know.
I hope so. I'm doing it. I hope the parents are. I mean, most parents probably are using our app because they cannot help their kids. I'm kind of weird case with my daughter because she knows I can help.
Yeah.
I still push back and say no, just use the app, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it helps me to not fight with my daughter
Right.
because I'm just emotionlessly just like helping her or like any other student, right?
Right.
It helps me as a tool to manage emotions when I'm teaching my own kids.
Yeah.
It's clearly working for me, so I hope that the parents feel like this is not something that I have to intervene. It's actually self-contained experience. Because as long as you see your kids like working and asking
Yeah.
and learning from it and iterating, what else could you ask for, right?
I do think in math, especially when it gets like, is a concept you understand, sometimes the immediate reaction. So I felt this with my niece sometimes. It's like, is frustration. It's like, why don't you get this? And then also just wanting to tell someone to fix it. So why is you bad at algebra? You fix it. I want to talk to someone. You fix it. I think it's just like being action biased, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a solution, right? It kind of discourages my niece, and it's not like, oh yeah, I have 18 years of experience. I just made your daughter better at algebra.
No, that's really dangerous. If you tell your kids like, why don't you know this? As if like,
Yeah.
this is so easy. A lot of parents do that. They're doing a simple algebra, like maybe a very two-step algebra question. Like I had one parent observe their kid is a one-step algebra. Like for example, like minus 2x equals 4.
Yeah.
She made mistakes in that.
Yeah.
And she was literally shocked. Like, I can't believe my kid doesn't know how to do this.
Yeah.
But then, from my perspective, no, she has never done this before.
Yeah.
She's not super comfortable with negatives yet. She's getting the hang of it. So I can see like about 2 sessions she was struggling, but the third session she was picking up.
Yeah.
But in the third session, the mom called me and said, "Oh, I can't believe my kid can't do that." And then I showed her the data and said, "Look, it was just these 2 classes
Yeah.
that you happened to intervene and observe her.
Yeah.
But before that, she was doing great, and after that, now she's improving. She's definitely trying. And I think if the parents knew that they were actually just this is a process of struggling, and they're actually getting it,
Yeah.
they'll be fine. But when you get a quick snapshot of something that they feel like it's easy, why
Yeah.
don't you know? There's like emotional fight that happens between the parent and the child.
No, it's just a gut wrench. It's like you should know this, you know. Just like
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, do you know this? Or you just remember some method to get the answer?
Yeah.
Right? I could challenge the parents like in that way.
yeah,
But like anything that you've been doing it for a long time, you don't remember how it works anymore a lot of times.
yeah.
You just do it.
Like it's hard for me to explain English, like grammar sometimes.
Yeah, like if you have to actually really break it down, someone else to be able to do what you do, you like how confident would you be, even though you're good at English, you can do that in a few days.
Yeah, but if someone asks me why is the went the past tense of go, I'd be like, I have no idea.
Well, in English, it's a little bit. Sometimes it's a little bit more illogical, right?
Yeah.
But it is rules that's like agreed upon.
Yeah.
Math actually has reasons.
Yeah.
Everything, and I think this is not just a problem with parents. Actually, a lot of tutors do this too. A lot of inexperienced tutors,
Yeah.
they just spit out what they remember, what method they remember, and there's no way for anyone, the parent or the kid, can tell if they're getting explained in a way that's logical
Yeah.
or it's just being memorized. There's no one can tell that in the whole experience.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that sometimes because I would get hired sometimes that's because for the sole reason that I went to MIT.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, my kid wants to also go to a prestigious school.
Yeah.
So can you help him or her?
Yeah.
And then I think sort of my expectation is like, oh, you want to go to a prestigious school, you must be like kind of really up there. And then sometimes they're not. And so from when I'm like, if I'm being hired to try to deliver this and like you're here, sometimes my reaction is frustration. Like you're 11, you need to be able to like do multivariable calculus, otherwise you're not going to be able to like, I don't know, get into MIT if you want to. Like it's just like this is something that a lot of kids would do.
Yeah.
And that never works. It just frustrates them actually. The kids are like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. That's why you're here.
So I think that the reason why that happened, and that I used to be the same way, is because you don't know, you can't actually point exactly how many steps behind they are to getting to where you want them to be. Like, you should be here. That's all I recognize.
Yeah.
But why are you not here? Where are you exactly?
Yeah.
And how to get there? That path is not clear.
Yeah. So I think actually
Yeah.
Your analogy of how math is like it's composed of algebra, geometry, trig, and all these pillars, and then on top of it, all of a sudden calculus gets put on there.
Yeah.
Right? It has everything, right? Fractions,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
common divisor. You need to be able to recognize like factoring. So it all gets piled on top.
Yeah.
I think that's when like kids crumble oftentimes. And
Pillars are
yeah, or algebra. Algebra is another, right? You do like fractions, you do divisions, 4 multipliers, and the algebra gets put on top.
right. Yeah.
So like I think when these like thing that rests in pillars kind of comes and crumbles, like I think what prep box is really good at is like when there's a gap and you tell it there's a gap of like fractions, it kind of just like goes to that pillar, kind of like amends it.
Yeah, it tries to amend it in time.
Yeah.
It tries to kind of give a clear path, how long you need to work on there
Yeah.
to get back to algebra.
Yeah.
That's what kind of gives them a little bit of peace.
Yeah.
I'm progressing forward.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of these apps online, they might be great fraction practice like locations on the website or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like an isolated experience, and there's no path drawn forward.
Yeah. I just remember like when I was in calculus, some of the weaknesses that I had was like the integration. And I think it's because I didn't really understand exponents really well. But like that took a while for me to get that. Like I just didn't get exponents really well. So like, but if someone had told me identify that earlier, I think I would have learned faster. So like I think we see that with a lot of students, right? Like they're doing algebra, but they're not good with fractions. So like as a result, algebra is kind of sitting on a very weak pillar. So it's never gonna really sit well.
It's like that with life too. I realized after 20 years, I suck at business. I need some help with that pillar, right? To build something, right?
Yeah.
Or I suck in language, or
I guess that's where teamwork comes in.
anyways. Thanks for lunch.
This is such a Korean move, by the way. No one eats the last piece.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, go eat it. Yeah. So it's like 눈치 봐. It's like checking out who's gonna eat that.
Alright. That's nice
Stuff. Yeah. You got the dishes?
No.
Thank you.